Meeting to order. Stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call. John.
Here.
Dale isn't here. Ron.
Here.
Sean isn't here. Troy's here. Any changes to the agenda? I'm up for election, right?
You are, and I have some paperwork for you downstairs.
Okay. I'll consider that.
Kind of in tough shape when we got we don't have a majority here. We can't have elections until Dale gets here. I don't see any changes to the agenda. I'd like to approve the agenda as proposed.
Been moved by John to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Minutes from the December 17th meeting. Anybody see anything, any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Could we wait and skip over them until we have a little bit more time? If we want to in here.
I think we have to approve these before, since it's
Oh,
old business.
it's old business.
Okay.
So he's going to be new business.
Okay. I didn't get a time to look over. Did you, Ron?
I really didn't.
I read them this morning.
Okay.
I guess I did.
Anything to call our attention to, Troy?
I didn't find anything.
I didn't find anything either, so I'll move to approve the minutes. I dispense with the reading of them for December 30th, or 17th.
It's been moved by Ron to approve the minutes from December 17th and dispense with the reading. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by John. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, December 30th meeting minutes.
I wasn't at that meeting, but it says that you adjourned at 2:07 a.m.
Okay, so
It was kind of a long one.
It must have been. You must have transferred it to the coachman or something.
it should be, yeah, let me see, I thought.
That's the only thing I saw.
I'd move we accept the December 30th minutes as presented and dispense with the reading.
Amended.
Been moved by John to accept the December 30th meeting minutes as amended and dispense with the reading. Is there a second to the motion?
Seconded.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So,
Well, elections is new business, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So, Jamie, we'll skip that for now until Dale gets you.
Okay. First of all, I did the corrected easement for you. With the night land description in there. And,
Okay.
As you guys probably read in the paper and sent out in that email, the summary judgment motion was denied. So as of right now, we're going to be moving forward with discovery. I'm sure we'll get another shot at motions after discovery is over. We have a scheduling conference scheduled for Wednesday at 10 a.m. at the courtroom here. Everybody will be here, so if you guys want to show up, if you want to notice a meeting or whatever, or just come. I suppose if all 5 of you guys are going to be here to notice a meeting, but all the scheduling conference is going to be is we're going to have deadlines for discovery and motion deadlines. I suppose set a date for trial and look at some dates for trials. So it's not really that big a deal. It'll just set some dates and some deadlines for us and take care of any other issues that are brought up at the time. I've been trying to speak with someone to get some help representing us if we're going to go to trial on this with some more civil knowledge than I have. And some knowledge with some real estate cases. I haven't found anybody that's willing to do it yet, but I'm going to continue doing that today and tomorrow, or today and this weekend and next week. So I guess I would ask if your guys' blessing for that. And I'm sure you guys, one last thing, I guess I'm sure you guys heard of what was going on over in Foster County. I was approached to give them a hand. I told them that I'm busy with what's going on here in Nelson County, and I just would like some input from you guys, but I don't think it would be appropriate for me to ask for help from you guys and then go say I can go help them. So that's my opinion of the situation, and if you guys feel differently.
Do they need help moving that stuff off the sidewalk out downtown Carrington?
No, that got moved apparently right away. But I guess I should tell you what happened. I am listed as an assistant over there because Paul and I just signed oath of offices to help each other out if there was a conflict, or if someone was gone for a weekend and law enforcement needed some help answering some questions over a weekend. So the oath of office was signed for that limited function, but I'm going to resign because of the limited amount of time that I have on that. I wasn't an assistant there to help them out in this kind of situation. It was more of a beneficial situation of both of us to get some help out if we needed help with conflicts. So unless you guys feel differently and want to help them out, but I just don't think that would be appropriate for me to ask for help with the suit and then go say I'm going to help them out. So
It seems like we already have scheduling problems just with Nelson County and Griggs County. I can't imagine adding more to that. It's ultimately, I suppose it's your choice. But then we would have to take appropriate action. I just don't see where it's kind of tight anyway. It appears to me. Maybe
well, yeah, and I'm in agreement with that. I don't think it would be appropriate to the people of Griggs County and people of Nelson County elected. We have enough problems to sort through ourselves, and I think it would. I don't think it'd be appropriate if I wouldn't help them out. So but it came up, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
Right.
Everybody
I think to some degree it's two separate issues. You don't feel like you have the expertise in this area for the lawsuit. Whether or not you help them out with the run-of-the-mill county business, that's up to you. I don't know if you got time or not. That's a decision you're going to have to make.
right, two separate. But I mean, even without the time for the
like
lawsuit, it just seems like there's lots of times you can't get here
Right.
anyway, and
I wanted to run it by you guys because
add more to it.
I think that you guys need to know what was going on. So
Right.
I just thought it was appropriate to let you guys know.
You need to slide this down so they can record it up here.
We can record it down there.
Okay.
As long as it's 3x4 space, no matter where
Okay.
it is, they can record it.
Will you get us, when you find somebody for the lawsuit, will you get us an estimate of how much time it's going to take and what it's going to cost?
Yeah, I can do that. I should know. I hope to find someone early next week, so I have to continue calling around and speaking with people.
We need a
about
motion.
the situation.
Authorizing Jamie to interview somebody to help him do that.
Is that what you're asking for? Is to start the process, or can you start the process?
I think I can
without
start
us?
the process without you guys, but
Okay.
I'm going to need the okay to spend some funds.
Right.
Right.
So we need to have it all figured in. So
Right. Okay.
I'd be okay with just going ahead and finding somebody, and then we can at least consult with somebody else and see where we're at. It seems reasonable.
All right.
Okay.
That's all I have for you guys. Unless you guys have anything for me. This, based on the complaint that they had filed, I kind of figured that we'd have trouble winning this early summary judgment, but I think that the judge will allow us to file another motion for summary judgment and after discovery, and we can show some more things for the judge, and we still have a chance of having it dismissed, but or winning on summary judgment.
Okay.
What's the schedule on the counterplate then? I know that.
Well, they'll all be tried as the same.
Oh,
They'll all be one trial together.
Oh, okay.
So Dan will be here too on Wednesday for the schedule. In fact, I think that sure there'll be 5 of us there. I think that they have 2 attorneys that are working on the case, and Dan has himself and his associate, and myself. So it's at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Like I said, if you want to be there, it's not a huge deal. It's just probably only gonna be about.
It's in this room.
Here in this courtroom, yeah. I'm guessing it'll probably be 20 minutes to half an hour, maybe at the most, just be figuring out dates.
But it won't be in this room, it'll be,
It'll be in the courtroom.
yeah, okay.
Should I notice a meeting?
Well, I plan to come. I don't know if there's gonna be 3 coming or not.
John, are you planning to come?
What time, 10 o'clock?
Do you have 10 o'clock on Wednesday?
I mean, if Troy wants to go, if you don't want to notice the meeting, that's fine.
I don't have to come.
I don't know if I have to. I've got something else planned for Wednesday, but I can put that
Well,
on
and
for the
this is a
afternoon.
reminder, it's just like I said, it's just a scheduling conference. We're going
Right.
to set motion deadlines and look at some trial dates.
Okay.
Then I'll probably stay away.
Okay, so I don't need to notice a meeting.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's all you
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys. I have to head up and for.
Yep. See ya.
See ya. Dale joined the meeting at 1:13. Should we go back and do the elections?
Mm-hmm.
And the committee appointments too, or whatever
Board.
they call
Board appointments, yeah.
them, board appointments.
Okay, so I open the floor to nominations for chairman.
Do I need to relinquish the hammer?
Mine.
I'll nominate Troy.
Okay, there's a nomination.
Make a motion, nomination cease.
Okay. All right, call 3 times for discussion.
You better get a second.
Can I get a second?
I'd say.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Guess I don't have to vote.
You're kind of trained right now.
You're right now, buddy.
Okay, vice chairman.
Railroad's back in town.
Railroad's here. Sean already sent me a text to that effect.
I'd nominate Ron as the vice chairman.
Ron's been nominated as vice chairman. Are there any further nominations?
I'd move nomination cease.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Dale that nominations ceased and we cast a unanimous ballot for Ron, seconded by John. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Board appointments. Do you guys just want to leave them the same too, or do you want to mix?
I'm fine with that unless someone's got a problem with the board they're on and it's something like that.
No, I'm fine with it.
Also move.
Moved by John that board appointments remain as they were in 2015. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. On to that.
Nothing but that.
Look at the December bills and January vouchers next.
We did get the Otter Tail bill for the shop in Binford. Can we please add that to the Otter Tail voucher, or the Otter Tail bill to be coming out of, to add that to the road? So road is right now 320.49, and then adding 81.13 to that.
I assume the green highlighted are because they're dues.
Here it is.
There you go.
Well, Devonsoft isn't really dues. That's a maintenance fee, isn't it? For
Yeah, that's just a
annual
contract
maintenance
fee, yeah.
MOCIC.
Somebody's gonna remember it.
I would hope they were previously a member of.
Yeah.
Let's see. For $100, Troy.
Hmm?
It's for $100.
Right. Trying to get back to the ends.
What was that, Sheriff? When I said General SH?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, so that must be,
Mid-States Organized Crime Information Center. I don't know if there's something if that's something that
Is that yearly or monthly?
per year, 1 to 10 officers is $100 a year, 11 to 25 is 150, 26 to 50 is 200.
Is that in his budget? Does he have dues in the sheriff's budget?
Must be.
And did Bob submit that?
Yep.
Okay.
It's in Springfield, Missouri, so I almost wonder if they don't receive some information from them or something. I mean, it says, well, I'm not so good at their acronyms, but it says the CISOP is updated every 2 years.
yeah, you got $800 for dues, so.
Right. So that one is
This way, we put in the budget.
Yeah. So the ones that all the commission has control over would be the commissioners' dues, North Dakota Association of Counties, the National Association of County Officers, and South Central Dakota Regional.
Yeah, I'd like to see us scratch that NACO.
The national.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause I just don't think.
I don't know what we get for that.
I think we looked into it last year, and you guys still didn't want it.
And what?
And you guys still didn't want it.
Does anybody have do any of the officers within the county have any contact with the NACO?
I get emails from them. Connie, do you use?
I know I get emails from them, but I don't. I delete them. It's just a lobbying group, and it's whether or not you involve yourself with their causes, right?
They do have good education programs too for different offices, but I've
You
never
good?
taken advantage.
You've never,
No.
I mean, I suppose they're always out of state,
Yeah.
so I don't know where they're headquartered, if it's in Washington DC, but that's kind of a long ways to go to training.
Yeah.
I would imagine K Street.
So,
And I don't know what the North Dakota County Commissioner Association does for us.
I don't think we were members of that last year, were we?
No.
Because I remember what the president of the association called me, and I said, you know, we're members of we're members of the North Dakota Association of Counties. I don't think you guys should have a different set of dues for every office within the county. And he kind of said, you know, I can kind of see your point, you know. So take that for what it's worth. That's one of the numbers that Samantha gave out last year. Or one of the times Samantha gave out my number. That's what I should
One of
say.
many.
And then the other one is the South Central Regional.
And that's the one that we're getting those reimbursements, those grant reimbursements from.
Right, but is that contingent on our continued membership or not? That's what's said and done, isn't it?
I don't think we've got her.
So we got a reimbursement if we pay in and give it back to us. We didn't accomplish the same thing.
Well, it's for that plan.
Yeah.
The mitigation plan.
Right,
I think,
but that's finalized, isn't it?
you know, it hasn't been approved on the federal level yet.
Oh, okay, when it, I guess, she submitted it, but.
Yeah. And I don't know if the county utilizes their services as much as other cities do as a, they use their grant writers basically.
Right, yep.
Yeah, I think in Stutzman County, Jamestown pays half and Stutzman County pays half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be, if anybody, I doubt if Binford or Hanford would utilize them, but Cooperstown probably would. I don't know if we want to.
Well, Hanford got their
Yeah,
senior
that's true.
citizens building,
Yeah.
some handicap accessibility done, and that was another grant. Really.
Well, and they did the school and they did the campground, right? Wasn't that all done kind of with some kind of grant?
Some kind of grants, I don't know if it was.
I don't know if them guys wrote the grants, but watching us.
Thank you.
What are your wishes, fellas?
I think we should probably stick with the South Central Regional until we get there, we're done with our mitigation plan.
Yeah, I think so. It'd probably just complicated if we said, we want to pay half and Cooperstown pays half, then we go back and forth.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we probably have to talk to the city before we.
yeah. So,
So we're gonna not be members of the North Dakota County Commission Association and the NACO, is that correct?
That's, Northfield, that's what I'm thinking.
What's that?
Scratch the North Dakota County Commission Association and the
National Association of Counties.
NDACO.
No, NACO.
Oh, NACO,
the
okay.
national.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the North Dakota County Commissioners Association. I don't recall getting anything from them.
Well, we weren't members last
You
year.
weren't members last year.
Oh, okay, have you ever gotten anything useful? from
Well, we
them?
used to get stuff from them, but I don't know. The North Dakota Association of they should do it for everybody. It
Well-
should only be one set of dues for the North Dakota Association of Counties.
Well, is it the same group?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a different group.
No,
than
I'm sure it's the same people.
Just a different funding source.
Okay, if it's the same people, yeah, that doesn't make, I thought a new group formed themselves to help us out, but that's not, it is different, right?
The North Dakota Association of Counties, the general dues, that's for the county, and then
County Commissioners Association.
no, just the.
That's $1,600.
That's a piece of the North
That-
Dakota Association of Counties. I mean, they're under the same roof.
It's an upgrade, it's like the,
If you go down a little bit, Ron,
Yeah,
it's the NDACO one for the general dues, the 5,233.
right.
That's for the county, and then the auditors, North Dakota Association of Counties auditors. That's me. I'm involved in that. So then we have to pay an extra due, and then Connie has another one that she's part of. So there'd be another one there.
And I don't know about the County Commission Association, but the Treasurers Association does not really, we get a report from this County Association of Counties, NDACO, but we
Yeah.
don't fund their things or do, you know. Although part of our dues go to pay one of their employees, and she does work for our association,
Right.
but other than that.
But you guys have specific educational needs and that kind of stuff. I mean, I can understand that, but we're just here a couple hours a month.
Right, yeah.
So there's no reason to be members of the North Dakota County Commissioners Association that you're aware of or that you're aware of, so yeah, I should scratch it. And NACO.
You see anything else on this list?
I make a motion that we approve the bill as submitted, deleting the North Dakota County Commissioners Association for $1,600 and the National Association of County Officers for $450.
Adding this. Adding this.
And
And adding the $81.13 to the road fund, Otter Tail Broker Road Fund.
Thank
The
you.
shop in Binford, I assume.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'd second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John? Dale? Ron? Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Monthly office report.
Can we do the bill resolution, please?
Oh. There's a resolution in your packet, which we have to look at once a year. Again. Page 24. Did you add anything to that from last year?
Nope.
I'll move that we approve the resolution of the bills for the postage and mail freight. Express, light, water, telephone licenses in the post office box.
It's been moved by Ron to approve the resolution as presented by the auditor for the payment of certain bills. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale? Ron? Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Now we can review the monthly office report. Is this just a printout of these vouchers or what?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you just keep going.
On daily cash and apples, I'm sure it's right, but it sure seems like it could be cleaned up some. You know, there's handwritten stuff in there and everything. Couldn't that all be a spreadsheet where we can,
That is a spreadsheet.
what's that?
You want it bigger, it'll be 2 pages.
Well, I think we could at least read it then, and I think reading numbers is kind of important, so.
Yeah, you can't read those numbers.
No.
Do you want it larger print?
Well, like, you want to take a look right here?
Those are the check, that's the check sequences in handwriting
Those
there.
are the check numbers.
Okay,
What I do on the spreadsheet is have them in a notation,
okay.
but to have all the notes print, you wouldn't be able to read any numbers
But
then.
this number here,
That's the total number of checks.
and should be a number there that adds up to that.
No, that's a number from the previous days, the whole month's total.
Okay. What's this?
So this number, and this number add up to that.
Okay.
That star goes to this one, that's the Aflac. This one's the Valley. This one, 3
Well, that's the
stars
three
is
star,
nationwide,
okay.
4 stars is the state tax. And those are all the electronic payments. I could put them all in one number, so you have one number is all the electronic
It would
payments.
sure look more professional.
Okay.
If it was
That's fine.
not done like that.
Then don't ask me for the breakdown of what those electronic payments are. If I put them all together.
I can't.
But, yeah, you can ask, but I mean, don't ask to have them back on the sheet after I take it off.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, if you printed in 2 sheets, could you have it all on there?
I don't know. I'd have to have different columns, I suppose. Yep. I'll work
If we're
on
just
that.
talking one more piece of paper, I don't think that's a big thing to ask, so that we can have an
Okay.
accounting of what's going on here. Please?
Mhm. That's fine.
Thank you.
Anything else on the monthly office reports? Any other questions?
This is Connie. This one is just kind of telling us in the past how the collections went to date.
That's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a monthly report.
No,
That's
that's just a scenario of how.
I move we approve the monthly office reports as presented.
Been moved by Dale to approve the monthly office reports as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Connie, you have a pledging report?
Yes, I do. Pledges from the 4 banks, if you want to go through it, look at them, and then just acknowledge that you've seen them with your initials and the date on each one.
Just me?
Just you, you're chairman, you were elected. And then while those are going around, you also have those interest statistics.
Those annual ones?
Yep, that one,
Okay.
yep. Yeah, which page is it under?
I'm on
32, yeah.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah. So our actually for 15, our interest went up a little bit that we collected, but, and then we're staying pretty much the same as far as collections for taxes. It's about 28%, which is what we were last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the information I have for you.
So about 90% comes in before the discount goes off.
Yeah.
Some must come in before October then after that, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because how many people get by in 2%? 3?
Probably. Well, yeah, there's still several that come in at the end of December too, that, you know, they pay them off right before the end of the year.
Oh.
And then next year, they'll pay the 2015s at the end of December, so
They like
they just
paying,
got in that cycle and.
they like paying penalties then? Huh.
It is interesting though, there's a few that have started, once they realized about the penalties and interest, they started trying to take care of it before February.
Okay.
So there's, I suppose every year there's 1 or 2 that will change. So where are those pledge reports? Oh, they're supposed to go around.
They're stalled out.
Yeah, somebody looked at them.
You will, Ray.
That's all I had. And as long as I am up here, if you want to talk about the copier, I know you had questions about why we have a contract with them and copying them.
Yeah, I came up at the last meeting. Oh, and it might be a good idea, but on the surface, it looks like it's terribly expensive.
No, it is an expense. We do get our maintenance, the service calls, the toner, supplies we need. Those are all covered under the service contract. And we are also paying for Capteris, which is the M-Files program, where we scan anything and save it to that program, and you can look it up by any word that's in that document. Not enough of us are using that, so we should utilize that more. But, when I got some numbers from Tim at Marco, he took another look at what our contract is, and he has proposed, I don't know if Sam gave that to you or not,
Yep, yep.
the
I
proposal.
think it's in there.
Okay.
It was in my email. Oh,
Okay.
maybe it came in my email later. I don't think it was part of the packet.
He proposed swapping out our 2 printer copiers right now for 2 Konica Minoltas that would do the same thing we're doing. Our contract with them is up in September of this year. If we switch to this program, which does essentially the same and gives us about the same number of copies that we've currently got, which last year we paid quite a bit in overage for our copies. That program is $720 a month. So I don't know. I haven't priced out new ones, so I don't know what copiers cost as far as that.
So we're paying 773.80 times 12. We're paying $9,200, which works out to just about 11 cents a copy for what we did.
And that's about what they charge us if we run over copies. I think it was 8 cents a copy for colors, and we had an unlimited. No, we didn't have unlimited.
Yeah, you've got total allowance. You've got unlimited on the one copier, and you've got about 50,000 copies under on the allowance on the other copier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked a little bit, it looked like, to me, like a new one would cost $3,000 or $4,000,
Okay.
$3,500, $4,500, in that general range, but,
And then we'd be paying for a toner too.
yeah.
And then, did you put in the cost of toner, the cost of expenses? I did up a card for that too.
Yeah, we got that.
So that would run about $2,000, I think, a year.
Would it be possible to get 3 proposals so we can look and see
Mm-hmm.
if we're doing,
That's what I'd like to know, because when this came up before with getting copiers, Cindy just gave it to me and said, you decide, find it. So that's fine, if you guys want to decide, I'll get you different.
I'd sure like to see 3 proposals.
Okay.
$2184.17 is the cost of the supplies. So there's approximately $7,700 of finance charge, or yeah, and you would think that they would last longer than a year.
Yeah.
Well, that's what usually we get, the machine, and it's for 5 years.
Right.
So
So
these are, yeah.
if we're paying $7,700 over 5 years, or $40,000 worth of payments for a machine that for 2 machines you could buy for $10,000.
Okay, I will get a couple, 3,
How often do they come before maintenance?
whenever we call. They have a
Are
schedule
they
for
chronic,
yearly, I
or-
don't know when they check. When we call, they're here the same day usually, and they come from St. Cloud. So they're very good about coming.
You must have to, do you give them a meter reading once a month or something?
No, they
Or
have
do they pull them
they're
off?
hooked in, yeah.
Okay. I have a dumb question on this pledging report from Bank
Yeah.
Forward. They're pledged to some kind of a pool.
Yes,
How do we know what the other liabilities are in this pool?
What page are you on? Oh,
His
you're on
pledges.
that, okay.
yeah.
I mean, I see they've got $14 million worth of assets pledged against this pool, but it doesn't really tie to the county in any way. I mean,
We're just part of the pool, right?
I don't,
I don't,
Yeah.
we don't get a report as far as what portion of that is Griggs. We've got the pool agreement, so we know how many are
Oh,
in
you
that
do?
pool. Yeah, I
oh,
can bring you that if you want to see that.
I mean, I don't even need to see it, there must be some way for you to verify that they're pledged adequately, that's all,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, this won't tell you that.
no, there's another report too that I should have brought.
Well, it almost, and Bank of North Dakota couldn't provide it, but it almost seems like Bank Forward should
Bank
provide us
Forward.
with a list of the liabilities that these pledges are covering.
I do get a monthly thing from them that I sign off.
Okay,
So I will get 3 proposals then for, do you want all for purchasing? Do you want any for leasing or
Well,
so purchase?
I think leasing is probably all right if the right numbers work out.
these are Kyocera Minoltas? Yeah. Conica Minolta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That dude in Jamestown, that's what he almost do, right?
Yeah, Jerry, what's his name? Jerry something. Yeah, he stops occasionally too in this.
Yeah, and I imagine a lot of them will give an option, if we could purchase them for this much or lease them for this much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let us decide whether we purchase.
Do you want that by the 21st or your meeting the 1st of next month? Or do you want
Well, is our contract up?
September of this year?
This year.
So we got time.
Yeah, if you could have them next meeting, that's fine.
Okay,
You don't have
work
to
out.
break your back.
Okay, I'll fit it in, we'll see if I get it. Okay.
Okay,
Any other questions from you then?
I think so.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're up, VSO.
Well, boys, here's the deal. And probably Troy knows more about this than anybody else, and Dale might know some. And that's just because I know these 2 guys the best out there. Okay. I'll try to give you a Reader's Digest version of the story. Got longer and longer, okay? Commissioner of Veterans Affairs in North Dakota, he's got a lot of pull in this country. He got himself elected to the chairman of the 50 state Commissioner of Veterans Affairs, you know, and territories. So he gets to meet with the Secretary of the VA at least every quarter. They're on first name basis. So apparently that works like anything else. If you know somebody, you can get something. Yeah. Okay, so what our commissioner wanted was, there's a van service in the state of North Dakota. The state puts a lot of money into this. They buy the DAV vans and they run on a schedule. You know, you can guess where they run, I-94, US 2, you know.
Yeah.
So they don't go into Griggs County or Steele County. Okay, so it's always been, if somebody from here wants a ride, you could take, somebody got taken to Valley City, you know, and then they go to Fargo, and then you got to come back that day and pick them up. Well, you might as well just take them to Fargo if you're going to do that. It's always been that way. No one's complained. We didn't have a transportation problem out here anyway. Okay,
Right.
so he talks to VA and to get buying 6 brand new 2015 Dodge Caravans for North Dakota.
Yep.
And the commissioner put together quite a really nice grant proposal. I got it. I read the whole thing. Okay, and the part that concerns us, he picked clusters of rural counties. It has to be highly rural counties by census population.
Yep.
We're about frontier status by the actual census status.
Right.
We are, you know. But anyway, so he picked Steele, Griggs, and Nelson County as a nice cluster that could work together for this van, because there's a VA clinic in Jamestown, there's one in Devil's Lake, one in Grand Forks, and then Fargo has the clinic and hospital, and they got a lot of other services there, specialties are there. Okay? Okay, so he gets this approved. So then, okay, that's one thing to be given a van, but who you gonna operate it? You know, remember, this is a federal deal. You got to pay federal wages,
Right.
you know, and on it goes. You get a van for free. That's gonna be the cheapest part of this thing, you know.
Yep.
So I talked to Troy. I told him my feeling on this. My feeling is actually to do this, you got to go and take somebody's property away from, like mine. Seize that, go create a whole new federal program, you know, that wasn't even there before, and that's where that money comes from. There's no magical place where it comes from, you know. I could easily have been a libertarian more than being a Republican, you know, easily, you know. I do realize we need a federal government for national security, although we don't need them for border security. The states could do a better job if they give them the money to do that. And roads, we need roads, so yeah. But other than that, you know, if somebody wanted to use illegal drugs, I'd say, okay, you're laying there. dying, if you got the money to pay for yourself, go to the hospital. If you don't, die, I don't care. if you're the one who did that was your free choice.
That's true.
Okay, so that's my philosophy on this. And I told Troy that, and I said, so he knew that I really wasn't in favor of other Commissioner of Veterans Affairs, I'm kind of like, I'm not his employee as your employee, but I am responsible to him. So I said, what do you think? And he thought, well, I think like you do. Well, he didn't say that. You might not be as radical as me, But anyway, I figured that to be known. Nelson County's, their exact words were, we do not have a transportation problem in Nelson County. That was their exact reply. So that meant no. Steele County said, well, what do you think, Dennis? So I told them, I said, well, we talked about the commission meeting. They said, well, if you're behind it, we'll see. But if not, just forget it. So that's what it was. And no other group of counties took them either.
What's your recommendation?
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, none of the other counties took these vans.
Yeah.
So he's got all 6 of them. Okay, so he wasn't expecting that. He figured if this would have been in Cass County or Grand Forks County or Burley, there would have been all kinds of people taking them vans. That wouldn't have been a problem. But out here, all these small counties said, well, hell with that. You know what that's going to cost?
I figured out that sometimes if they give you something, it costs more than it's...
Usually about any federal dollar you take is going to cost you 4.
Yeah.
And them 4 are probably going to be spent on something you really, really don't need either. Okay, so here's what happens. So I was down there in July. He called up and he said, we got 4 new laptop computers. Do you want one? I said, yeah. I said, I had one in my budget to get one, and got a really nice laptop computer. Well, went in the commissioner, said, okay, if you take a computer, you're taking a van, or you can't have the computer.
I was afraid it was bolted to the van.
Yeah, but anyway, I said, well, he said, listen, here's the deal. He said, nobody took the van. So he said, I went and talked to the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. They're going to give each county $50,000 to operate that van, to go with it. It'll be a grant. Okay? So I said, well, under them circumstances, it might make a difference. My county commissioner is Ted Johnson. So I just called him up and I got hold of him. And he said, well, Dennis, we talked about the commission meeting, and if you could get that $50,000 and you're behind it, Steele County will take that van.
Each county gets 50,000?
Well, that's the way it was originally proposed, that each county would get 50,000, okay?
Federal government's view of extortion.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, so I said, okay. So that was in July. The money was supposed to be here in September, so I had the van since like middle of July. I just kept my mouth shut because until we had the money to operate that, you put that in the paper, and then all of a sudden people are going to call, well, when are you going to get it going? When it's going to be a month? Okay, so September we had to have a report done on us, and no activity, okay? The money was supposed to be there in September. Okay, then it was going to be there in October, okay? Then it was going to be there in November. Then it was going to be there in December. Okay, then January comes. We're going to have the money in January,
Yeah.
Okay? On Monday of this week, I had to meet with the Tuesday, I met with the Steele County Commissioners. Okay, Monday afternoon, the memorandum of understanding from our state attorney's general office came where we could sign it and get the money released. So as of today, I've returned that. I had a meeting at his office this morning. So as of today, he gave me back his signed copy of the memorandum of understanding to release $50,000. Okay. Now it changed. It was going to be we're going to give the counties each $50,000, and then you keep track of all your expenses. There's a CFR that goes along with it. It isn't like you get to make up what you want to do. But there's a CFR that you got to follow total federal regulations. And then at the end of the year, if you spend $43,000, you get $7,000 back. But it changed to at the end of the month, you can submit your expenses to the North Dakota Department of Veterans Affairs. They're holding the money, and then they'll reimburse the counties. Okay. We've already used 1/4 of the year, so there's only 3/4 of the year left.
Right.
So we got $50,000, and I don't think we're going to spend $50,000. First of all, the van is new, so there's no expense there. There's going to be the operating expenses. Okay, Steele County. I met with them on Tuesday, and they said, "Well, look, you run the program, you arrange the rides, do the bookwork yourself. And I can submit money for budget for." Administrative expenses as well as like the driver, So he said, you run all that, and he said, not only that, I told them I was going to meet with you guys. They said, tell Griggs County that we'll administrate this program for the first year out of Steele County, and then after that we'll see where it goes. So that's what got me here, you know.
Yeah, I did just want to add though,
Yeah.
I've gone to the VA hospital in Fargo,
Yeah.
and they paid me $85 to do that. And it's simple. You just go in there, you sign your name, you get back, and the government mails you a check for $85. So I would sure rather get my $85 because it doesn't cost me $85.
Well, you could do that too. No one's going to make you call me up and say, I want to ride. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, it's not like they're destitute. These veterans could probably pay somebody $85 and get a ride to Fargo and back.
People go here shopping, they go to Florida. We didn't have a transportation problem here.
Right.
But you know what? He had the vans, the SWAT,
Right.
and we didn't create the program, but
Again, what do you think? Because it's going to be the burden on you. It's gonna,
Yeah.
It sounds like the money is going to be a wash. It goes against what I think our government should be doing, but we have responsibilities to the veterans here. What's your
I'd say
recommendation?
Steele County's going to get behind it. Now I'm behind it too. And it looks like it's funded for 2 or 3 years, either 2 and then maybe the 3rd year. I think that's the way they kind of do things on bienniums, you know. So I think it's 2 and then they add in the 3rd year, but that probably got to be approved. By then, I suppose they'll be either renew the whole darn thing or else just give you a brand new van, start it all over again. But it would be my opinion that I think we should do that. I really do.
And I'm in favor of it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's kind of like how we got here.
Okay.
Got your computer though.
I got my computer. Otherwise, I was going to come out of our budget here. You had that in the budget for that too.
We did.
That is pretty mean of them, though. They won't give you a computer unless you.
Well, he was joking. He said, come to my office. He said, you can't take a computer unless you take a new van. You know? Yeah. We got the first van too. And so, like, they had 6, and the other counties hadn't made up their mind. Well, he hadn't twisted anybody's arm yet, you know. But after that, he got the other ones. Golden Valley got one. It's way out there. Cavalier has one.
So saving face is more important than saving money.
Well, you know, it could be.
Depends on who you are and whose money you're saving.
That's true. You know, it depends on who you are.
His face and
Yep.
not his money.
It's a very liberal program where and there's almost none like this. Where if a guy lives in rural Bedford, you go out to his farmhouse, pick him up, and take him to Dennis to Carrington,
Yep.
and bring him back.
Like I said, if you're for it,
Yeah.
I'm for it, and I don't know what the rest of you guys think, but to vote on it.
You need a motion from us?
I guess whatever you guys would feel comfortable with approving that this. How are we going to put this in the form of a motion? You know, that we accept it.
I'd make a motion that we allow Dennis to proceed forward with the program
There you go. The veterans.
as
Transportation
outlined.
program.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, like for instance, the nursing home here. Sometimes they have a veteran that needs to
Yep.
get to Fargo or Grand Forks or somewhere. I've had calls before and I said, no, I don't do rides, you know, and I don't. There's nothing about this Steele County, don't make me do it. And there are some counties that do, but that's a whole separate part of their transportation program where they actually have a driver, and that, like Barnes County got that, okay? Well, we don't, okay? I've been called before and I said, no rides, you know. But if the nursing home, I'm going to stop at the nursing home today. If you guys call and go and tell them, okay, look, here's the program. If you got a veteran here that needs any type of medical transportation, any type, it could be eyeglasses or hearing aids or a trip to a pharmacy,
Okay.
the spouse can go along.
Okay.
And not only that, they specifically said, unlike other ones, if you take somebody to Jamestown, to the VA clinic there, and they want to go to Walmart afterwards, you can do that. That's all part of the deal. So it's a very liberal program.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion?
Well, the only thing is you will get paid for your administrative
Yes.
costs, correct?
Yep.
And make sure that that this doesn't become a burden on you personally. I mean, if there's money there for administration, you should be paid for that.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is for 1 year, you're making the motion, right?
This,
It's probably a biennial appropriation because
Yeah.
it's state money.
but the next round of funding would come in October. Well, no, I can't say it. they go on a fiscal year which ends September 30th.
Yep.
Starts October 1st, and at that time, everything has to be settled for that year. Then it's renewed for the next year. You know.
And I was just getting at, the Steele County is just gonna pay the administration for 1 year.
Yes, they will. They
After
got.
that, we need to look
Yeah,
at.
after that, after October of this year, then they would want to talk to you guys
Yeah.
and say,
So we'll just have a 1 year.
yeah, like for the first year, they're going to put the money up front. Then at the end of the month, I set up my bills, and then electronically, the Department of Veterans Affairs will reimburse Steele County. But somebody got to float the money for that month, you know.
Okay.
So if Steele County said they would do that this time, but at the end of that, they would want to talk to you guys or come to an understanding with you how it should be done.
Okay,
Okay, so like you said, the motion should be until end of this fiscal year. Or somebody brought that
Yeah,
up.
see.
One of you
Oh,
guys.
that's what you
be it.
said.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
I mean, the state fiscal year, ours is December 31st.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yep.
Go.
any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries.
Okay, well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna stop up at the nursing home and tell them, you know what? Hey, I'll see you guys.
Are you driving the new van?
No, that's down far. We're getting undercoated, or I would have brought it up here. Steele County Commissioners told me, we want you to drive that wherever you can because there'll be advertising for it too. They said, you go to your office, don't submit a transportation bill anymore. Drive that van, you know.
Okay,
Bye, Dennis.
road. Perfect timing.
We got one big bid and 2 little bids.
Oh, I have a bunch of
Holy
bids.
cow.
Yeah. Do I just start opening them, or do you
Probably
want?
let
Jake and
Jake.
I don't know if you want to open it. I can take a look at everything.
I'll open them and give them to him.
Oh, okay.
Are these project, are these, well, we define, is there 3 different projects here that we're getting?
We're only bidding the one today.
It's just the one here, okay?
Should be, yep. So, on the front of it, there should be, we'll open that first, bid bond. Contractor's license should be included in that. And who's the contractor? Strata. Strata out of Grand Forks.
So you want these?
Yep, I'll take a look at those real quick. Okay, bid bond, it's 5%, so that's good. Contractor's license. It's good in 2016. That's good.
What's the acknowledge addenda?
That's if we had any addendums after we submitted, or after we posted the plans, and we did not.
We didn't, so that's, okay.
That's. Oh. Okay, Strata's bid is $324,142.60. So $324,142.60.
Tom Gilbertson, son. License and bond.
License is good. Bond is good.
What was our estimated cost for this project?
That's at the bottom, 239.
Start, okay, oh, excuse me.
Okay. Gilbert and Sons bid is $195,740.50. So $195,740.50.
Trying to look at these guys' faces, see if they're frowning or.
Canyon Specialty Contractors.
What was that one?
Canyon Specialty.
K-A-N-Y-O-N. Bid bond and contractor's license.
Okay. Contractor's license is good. Bid bond is good. The bid is $415,137.15. $415,137.15 for Canyon Specialties.
Who said that, Rochelle?
I'm not sure if it's Rochelle or Rachel.
Rachel? Bid bond?
Bid bond's good.
License. You want these envelopes to stay with the bids?
Those don't. If you have the big envelopes, I'll take those just so I keep everything separate. Contractor's license is good.
Bid?
Rachel Rachel Contracting's bid is $316,785.50. So $316,785.50.
Katie Hoyt.
Okay. Contractor's license is good. Bid bond is good. Katie Hoyt's bid is $293,915 and 0 cents. $293,915. Skaponiak.
How you spelled it?
Skapaniak. Bid bond and contractor's license.
Okay, bid bond's good. Contractor's license is good.
Bid form.
The bid is $306,172.40. So $306,172.40.
This one is Park Construction Company. Here's the bond and the contractor's license.
Okay, bid bond's good. Contractor's license is good. The bid is $351,809. $351,809.
This is Border States Paving. License and bond.
Contractor's license is good. Bond is good.
These are the right ones for the right project. All the bids that I got were for this, right? Any proposals or anything? Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Hope so.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just wanted to make sure I'm
I
not.
can't
Oh,
imagine.
We only bid one project.
Yes, yep, and so far that's all.
Well, we gave notice of 3 projects.
Yes, and they're bidding.
But
Separate.
as long as you're reading, as long as off the price or you read these itemized lists, they're all the same. I mean,
Yep.
they're,
It says project number or whatever it is.
Yep.
you'd notice a discrepancy in there anyway.
This is Border States. Their bid is $320,746.50. So $320,746.50. I don't think that's for or that's not a
that's
bid.
not for you.
And I think that's just from me, all the plan documents.
No.
So that,
That's why I was wondering, because I didn't think that these were the same thing.
that should be all the bids then.
That's all the bids I found.
We had 8 bidders. The apparent low bidder is Tom Gilbertson and Sons at $195,740.50. I'll go back and check through all the numbers, make sure everything is correct.
This garbage in your eyes?
Yep.
Do we award the bid now?
You can award it.
Subject to,
Yeah, subject to checking the numbers and that all the math.
I think that's what we did last time, just subject to verification.
I would make a motion, we award the bids to Tom Gilbertsons and Sons, subject to verification.
Been moved by John to accept the Gilbertson and Sons bid, subject to verification by KLJ. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron? Aye. Troy votes aye. Motion carries.
I want to thank all you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
That
all.
was a lot of turnout.
Yeah.
That was a lot of bids. Please.
Yeah, a lot more than I expected.
We'll publish then, we'll send every bidder a list, a price, and so everybody is
Yeah,
aware of
we'll,
all it was bid.
We'll send all the bid documents back to the bidders who did not get awarded the bid, and with that, we send a tabulated
Yep, so everybody knows
list
that
of
everyone else
quantities.
bid, yep.
Yep.
Very good.
Anything else, Wayne or Jake?
Another one coming up in 2 weeks.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Okay, good.
Thanks.
Try again, come back.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's more to go. See you guys.
See you guys. That one must have been for Griggs. Rachel, because I didn't know to say it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do I hand these out or do I keep them?
I don't know.
One copy is for your office and one there's 2 copies of everything.
Okay.
And so one's for you and one's for one.
That's
That thing.
That's
Oh,
the thing.
got it.
They said you would send
Just out of
some
curiosity, where are those other contractors, like Canyon, I've never heard of that.
Canyon, and the only reason I know who they are, 'cause that guy called me this week, and he's actually out of Watford City.
Okay.
Couple of these are from Minnesota. Katie Hoyt is just over, I think they're in Nelson County. You guys-
McHenry.
Henry told me.
Or McHenry. So yeah, that was, wow, I didn't expect that many bids, but that's really good.
Awesome.
I suppose with all the projects going on throughout the state, they just get on the list and just bid every one of them, and
Hope so.
when contractors start getting thin, it sorts it out.
Guy from Canyon called me too, and he said they're so competitive now because people are looking for work.
Yeah.
There's less jobs, and there's still.
But if you came from Watford City to Griggs County, where would you go get the material?
That's what he asked.
A lot of them, Tom's been talking to me with questions, and Tom said I think a lot of these guys, we're gonna buy gravel from Tom. So
That's the only
why
choice.
They can't beat it. Beat Tom's price too, is because Tom's not selling the gravel to himself. So. But I mean, still, even that, they're all pretty competitive. I think the last bid we had, it was just Border States and Tom, and there was a huge price difference.
But I mean,
So this is-
the fact that they have set up operations here is a benefit to Griggs County. I mean, that's all there is to it.
They don't have to pay to house their employees or mobilization costs or.
Right.
They know where the gravel piles are.
I have one thing I signed up for a class. There's a free class. Had a choice of Bismarck or Fargo, having to do with federal aid contracts, construction. A couple years ago, they came out with a new regulation that said that you had to have a person in charge, what they call that, responsible charge, like for our chip seals that we did by Duke and Redwall, and I was that person. And then for the chip seals that we didn't get done this year, then I was signed for that. And there's a free class. Brian Fuchs from North Dakota DOT sent out an email saying that he recommended anybody, including contract or engineers and stuff, that have to do with that federal aid contracts and stuff should go to that class. And so I signed up for the one in Bismarck because that's a 2-day deal. The other one's 3 days, or 2 half days and a full day. A lot closer, but it starts on the 27th from 1 to 5, and then 28th 8 to 5, 29th 8 to noon, and the one in Bismarck is 8 to 5, 25th and 26th. Free class. Doesn't hurt to try to gain a little knowledge in some of that federal aid stuff. So, other than that, I guess
I got a couple little things. We're bidding the next 2 graveling projects. The first one on January 22nd, and I know we talked about it last time I was here. I'm not gonna be able to make that because I'm in Bismarck that week. But you guys can open them yourself. That's fine. I'll probably send that same spreadsheet with that project information to Sam to put in your package. So at least you have that. It's kind of nice for when you're opening stuff. And then the last graveling project, we're gonna be opening bids on February 5th. The culvert project, we just today got our stuff back from the Corps of Engineers, so we got everything we need for our wetland permit. The last piece of the puzzle there is the right of way. Is there anything else you need from me on that, or we're good to go there? Okay. Sounds good. Did he sign off on it and stuff? No, not yet. Okay.
We'll get it signed.
There was an error on the easement that we were gonna offer in exchange for his easement.
Okay.
So that's been corrected, and we'll get that recorded, and I'll take him a copy of that easement. and the easement that he needs to sign for us and get that done here early next week.
Okay, well, that sounds good. It just needs to be done before the project's.
I didn't realize that it was that way until I went to meet with him, and he said, well, that's not who owns the land. Well,
When are the bid opening dates, did you say?
January 22nd at 2,
February 5th.
February 5th at 2. So I guess if the right of way, if we got that, if we get that signed next week, we could open bids for the culvert project on February 19th.
Because Lori's gonna be gone. So we're gonna have to have a special meeting to open those bids.
With,
Oh, we moved the meeting and
We moved the meeting for January 22nd to January 21st.
that's fine. We'll just have a special meeting on the 22nd. Just,
Yeah, I mean, the other
It
thing
don't
is
matter.
I could send out an addendum. The only thing is it might be a little confusing.
It's fine.
we can have a special meeting. That'll be the only thing on the agenda. It takes 10 minutes.
Okay, so it'll still be the 22nd at 2. Okay.
But make sure you make note we're having a special meeting on the 22nd at 2 o'clock.
Special meeting.
It's February 22nd.
January 22nd,
Time?
2 o'clock.
Our regular meeting is Thursday, January 21st at 1 o'clock because Lori's gonna be gone on that Friday, but bid opening is on that Friday at 2 o'clock. So we'll have to have a special meeting on that Friday.
You screwed that up.
I really did.
January 22nd, you said?
January 22nd, we'll have a special meeting at 2. And on Thursday, January 21st is a regular meeting.
You're gonna have to pay our wages that day.
Sounds good.
You're lucky we work cheap.
Instead of Chell paying them, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
So, and then for that culvert project, are you guys okay with opening bids on that? I'm assuming there's a meeting on February 19th. I think that's,
February, you're on the
19th, yeah.
February 19th.
okay.
Should be. For the 5th and the 19th should both be regular meeting dates, right?
Check with me downstairs, or check with Lori downstairs because I don't have my calendar right here. But I do believe that is correct.
You got it on your calendar, don't you, Don?
What's that?
We switched some because of
Do
some
we have a
election-
meeting on February 19th? Did you punch them into your schedule?
I didn't because we were.
Messing with them?
Let me call
February
Lori.
19th, that's what's-
Let me call Lori really
Frontline and
quick.
Joel and Thunder.
Supposed to what?
Put Frontline and Joel and Thunder.
You do that in the
Pretty
morning.
late day.
Exactly what they need that for in February. No, I don't have that in there because we were so mixed up on
Hello?
schedules.
You don't know how to use that gadget or what?
I can't hear her.
So the 21st.
So it's
we're-
work, what,
I can't hear
It's
her.
special. A special on the 22nd.
right.
Right now, I can't hear
We got the KLJ pocket calendars too, and I need to go to Sam over her.
her. Hello?
But I
Don't
don't
you
have,
guys know that they've gone to these now?
they keep giving them to me, so I don't want to stack them on my desk. I just want to throw them away, that's what I do.
Call Lori.
Um,
I don't know what's going on.
I can talk to her too. When
I
when
got it.
Who's that?
Lori.
Hey, no, that's okay. No, it's okay. Is the special or is the regular meeting in February on the 19th? and then it's on the 19th. Perfect. Thank you. I'm back. 19th.
Okay. So if you guys are okay with that, I guess we plan to open bids on February 19th at 2 for the culvert project.
Okay.
Because everything should be together to that, or for that once the right of way is signed. So.
Okay.
And February 19th.
And then that should, I guess after that, that'll be all our projects for the year, so should be taken care of. Yeah, that's all I have unless there's any questions or you guys have anything for me.
Good. Anybody else have any questions for Wayne or Jake?
I was just wondering about that old county equipment. Was that supposed to?
Well, that's on the
be open
agenda.
today?
You got any bids on any of
I
that?
do. Do you want to open them now?
Sure.
There's Wayne's recommendations again.
I was just thinking if we're not getting a lot of bids, maybe we can wait for a few months or something until one of the fair one looking in before we decide this.
I agree. Somebody will probably have to take them off the bid then.
See, I guess they automatically go off after so long.
Oh,
For
okay.
30 days, I think.
Yeah, 30 days and then we got to renew, so it's going to set it.
You can go after that one.
Annual Christmas concert picture on the back. V-plow, $50, recommendation was 100, V-plow, $50, recommendation was 100, V-plow, 25, recommendation was 100, 20, reverse cable plow, bid was 25, recommendation was 100. Ford tractor with belly mower needs tires, is that one gone already? Yeah. Okay. 1982 International S1900 bids $210 and the recommendations $2,500.
Is that a dump body on it?
Yeah.
It does.
Boxes rusted.
Yeah.
Quite a bit changed.
15-foot Terrain King mower, recommendation 150, bid 210.
Sold.
Which one was sold?
15-foot train king mower
Okay.
for 210.
Tar wagon,
Ford
25
210.
bucks. Wayne's recommendation was 50,
How much did they bid on the tar wagon?
25 bucks. So we let
I
it,
figured scrap, scrap it. It's gonna go back.
can't.
Unless we don't, we can't. Now let's set a precedent by accepting the,
Oh, yeah, we've turned others down.
yeah.
Buffalo Springfield chip spreader Model K.
There.
$150 is the recommendation. The bid is 160.
Right.
Half that goes to the city. That chip spreader was
Oh,
co-owned at one time. We bought it together, the city and the county. And I talked to Blaine when I got the price. And so,
and it's from Keith Rickford out in Manford. So you want to get a hold of Keith?
I will. And then here's
Oh, Ralph Brothers, Benford. Ooh. Truck. I don't know what truck.
500, no.
and a tractor.
82 international, yes.
$650 on the truck and the recommendation $2,500 and $350 on the tractor, which is already gone.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the high bids on the items that meet the minimum.
Been moved by John to accept the high bids on the county-owned equipment that meets the minimum recommended by Wayne. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John,
Aye.
Dale,
Aye.
Ron,
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. You want to write down Keith Rickford's cell phone number?
Yes.
Would it make sense, guys?
797-7341.
What's that?
7341.
Yes.
Would it make sense to advertise these with a minimum bid?
Yeah, I thought we talked about that, and we were gonna put the minimum bid.
You guys decided not to.
Did we?
Yep.
Okay. That's not
You
the-
said, nope, it's working good the way it is, so we left
Then it'll
it.
guarantee you'll get $5, a bid $5 more than you want, where we got a couple $100 more than
More
we
than one.
want.
It might be worth it just to get rid of it though.
I'm thinking we should like leave it for a little bit, like Wayne was saying, we'll just not advertise for a little bit and then re-advertise and see what we get.
Yeah.
All right.
If that's okay with you guys, that's.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's paying attention, they know the minimum bid anyway.
Yeah, it's public knowledge.
Public knowledge.
Okay.
I'd say Keith figured it out.
Maybe he was over to Wayne's for coffee.
Or was it in here?
But I mean, it is public knowledge. Once it was disclosed in the meeting, anybody can give anybody the price. It's been disclosed, so that's fine.
This is in the
It's right.
It's in the minutes.
Yep, it's in the minutes, so I mean, it's, anybody can repeat public knowledge.
is it in the minutes that says the truck is $2,500.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
We did last time.
It won't be in the minutes, it'll be in the recordings.
Right, but it
Yeah.
was voiced at a public meeting, so it's public knowledge,
Yeah.
so.
So you can tell.
You're not
anybody
divulging, it's not divulging
Tell
anything.
everybody, go check out the,
Yeah.
We'll ask Sam for the minimum bids.
See if it's true that it was discussed for a minimum bid at $2,500 in the minutes.
all right, well, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Wayne.
The rest of us passed our spring certifications. So.
You too, huh?
Even
Good deal.
So in the future, we'll be looking at some trailer or something to haul
Yeah.
tanks on. And
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Hey,
guys.
guys.
Have a good weekend.
Abatement of taxes. I
I
don't,
don't understand that,
This is that property that we sold to the city.
right?
You have to abate, I was supposed to have you guys abate the taxes before we sold it. And I didn't realize this, and then I talked to Connie and so,
Right, no, but I mean, it has to be done on a standard abatement form, it just can't be a screenshot of the computer.
what do you mean?
When
You,
pe-
you will say that you abate these taxes, then Connie will go and do up the spreadsheet to abate them.
but there's a specific form that the tax director fills out to abate those taxes.
Okay. So I need to get the,
That's what he's saying.
okay.
Just like any other taxes we abate, it's filled out in a form, submitted, and then we decide whether or not we will abate them.
Right. I guess this is what I was given, so
No, there's a procedure to go through to do this, we just can't arbitrarily
just abate them. Here it is.
Well, the biggest thing is there has to be,
I didn't know if it was different because it's county property and we don't, like, it's just basically the,
but there still has to be a reason for the abatement on that form, and we abate it based on that reason.
okay,
This looks arbitrary.
okay, okay. So if that'd be-
Okay.
arbitrary and preferential. In essence, we don't have to go by our own rules.
Yeah. Carlson Tandy Dam Dock. Dale, have you been in the loop on this thing at all?
Just to shove it your way. Because I didn't know where it was. I just figured it was in your territory when Sam asked me if I knew anything about it. Because the
So-
water board had an interest in it.
The Game and Fish, I believe, contacted the water board because an angler was out at this Carlson Tandy Dam, and they were looking at the dock apparently that's in there, and by in their opinion, it was in need of some repair, and I still don't know what repair that is. But anyway, so they emailed the Game and Fish. Game and Fish went and looked in their dock inventory, and they don't own a dock there. So the Carlson Tandy Dam is under ownership of the Griggs County Water Board, apparently. So they contacted the county, and then Dale was on water board, so he got the call, and he didn't know where the Carlson Tandy Dam was, but he figured it was in my area, so he called me. And then I called around and found out the dock in the dam belongs to Rodney Frederick. Wiener.
What?
He goes by Wiener.
Okay.
And he lives right there. His kids go down there and go fishing. Anyway, he said he put that dock in there many, many years ago. There was a dock in there before, which some other Good Samaritan had put in there, but it was old and kind of getting rickety, so he built a new one. And of course, this one's been in there for quite a while. Now, the next question is, and he kind of opened this can of worms after it came up. Rodney did. He would like to see one of those fishing piers put in there, like the Game and Fish put in at the Mackville Dam.
And Red Will Open.
Huh?
And Red Will Open the Tall Dam. There those wheel in. Yep.
Floating
Yep.
pier.
Yep.
The Game and Fish thinks they will be able to get a hold of one of those piers in the next year or two. Right now, the vendor that they had building them isn't in business anymore, or not doing that anyway. So, if they can, he said they come up. People want these things, and then nobody wants to take care of them, and they pull them out, and they're sitting in the weeds, and they eventually come back. So, they would provide one on a 75-25. They'd grant the 75% of the cost of one, and some sponsoring entity would have to provide the other 25% of the financing or funding for it, and sign an agreement that they'll put it in the spring and take it out in the fall, so the Game and Fish doesn't have to come and do it. Usually it's a local club or group, of some kind. Now, so the reason that I'm bringing it up here is, Dale, I think you guys maybe should talk about it at the water board. I don't know if the water board has any interest in doing that. I presume not, since nobody lives up there.
Does the water board in charge of maintenance of the dam? They don't own the structure, or how?
I think they own the structure.
Own the structure, or
Any water belongs to the state. The Game and Fish has a 50-foot easement around the perimeter of the shoreline. I don't know.
I've never heard him talk about this dam at any meeting, but then.
Well, maybe that's another thing to visit about.
You know.
Because Rodney did say that the outlet, there's a lot of erosion that's occurred. You know, I suppose we've had some big precipitation years over the last 25 years. I don't know if it needs to be rocked, or I don't know if the Game and Fish would want to do that, or if you guys would get a grant from the Game and Fish to do it, or how that would work. Or at least have somebody go look at it. So I don't think we need to take any action on it. I just thought I'd bring everybody up to date in case somebody gets asked on the street what's going on.
Okay.
Maybe, you know, I told Rodney to try to find somebody to sponsor it in that area. If there's a wildlife club or somebody in the vicinity. Old courthouse, new courthouse. Anybody have anything?
I haven't.
Oh, I do. I have
Yeah.
one thing. Go ahead.
I haven't got any response back on getting a bid to finish that, so maybe we should proceed to the next avenue with the contractor you thought might be willing to give a bid on it.
I know they would.
Yeah. So all we need is construction engineer's last billing and the percent of work done, and that would give them the percent of work to be completed, and then they should be able to look at it and bid on it.
Except it's further along than it was then though, because we finished the EOC, but,
Yeah, but they were separate.
oh,
They showed separate. But we're still gonna have to bid, you know, it's gonna have to go up for bids for 3 different entities. So it's gonna have to be advertised anyway,
3 different entities.
to bid on it.
Oh, 3 different contractors?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think that was the,
well, we don't really need a bid, do we, aren't we just,
We need an estimate, is what Jamie was looking for. So it isn't, it can't be binding, I mean, we need an estimate.
so we're gonna pay for it?
I don't know how that works.
I think they'd probably do it for free. Yeah, I know, when we were a contractor, we did a lot of free estimates like that. It'd be ballpark estimates.
So it wouldn't be a very detailed,
No, not very detailed. It might be
Okay.
plus or minus 15% or something.
An estimate in order to let us make a decision on offering a bid. I mean, so. I don't know. But anyway, I don't see,
they don't have any interest?
it hasn't got back to me, and I've left 2 different messages now, plus the initial call, so I just gave up.
Okay, I will give Hilleroods a call. I know they're gonna have to drive up here and look at it, see if they're interested in bidding on it anyway, at least they'll know. Apparently, the drain in the sink in the little lunch bar thing in the sheriff's office drain isn't sealed adequately. Bob, don't ask me how this happens, but
The drain part, or where it comes up into the sink?
must be the drain in the wall.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure it was coming from the wall.
Oh,
When you look underneath the sink, it's dry.
But the wall isn't.
Bob turned the water on and walked away from it.
He had an emergency call, and
He was gone for hours, and so this thing leaked out on the carpet underneath the deal.
the carpet was wet in the EOC part, and then out in by the window. It was so it must have went to both ways.
In the wall.
So we'll need to get a mold investigator in.
I don't think you get mold in one session. But I think we need to have somebody remove that lunch counter cabinet and fix the drain. And it's probably
I would assume there's an out of order sign in the sink right now, isn't there?
There's a what?
Out of order sign in the sink?
They either forgot to glue something or
Right, so it came loose. They're still using the sink?
I don't know if they're still using it, but there's not an out of order sign on there. It's
But it's
just
turned off. The water's turned off.
I didn't do
I
anything.
don't know if I would assume that.
Okay.
I haven't been in there.
I haven't since the day after I got called or whatever to go and check it out. Called Troy, and then we called Brian and Wayne, Brian, and Jim Anderson came over there and kind of looked, and then they had said this is probably what's going on. The next morning, me and Brian went over there to kind of see if it was drying up, and it started to dry up. So we're assuming that's what's going on.
Well, I would assume call a plumber then. I mean, would be the natural evolution of things, and we don't use the sink until we figure out if it's leaking.
Do we have a plumber that the county uses regularly?
No. Not that I am aware of. I guess Brian was saying that, you know, if you just take that thing out, cut a hole in the wall, go in there and screw it in and then push that cabinet back, it would just cover it up since you're pushing it back, but
Well, I would assume we call Schultz then, I mean, they've been doing the maintenance work on the,
Okay.
should they have put on the list for a service
Schultz.
call, tell them we have a leaky,
No T.
tell them we have a leaky.
SHulz.
I got it.
Or TZ, isn't it? ULTZ?
No.
Oh, isn't it? Okay.
652-5809, I think.
652. It's a race to see.
652-5906 is Floyd, the work number is 652-2076.
652.
2076. And Bob is 652-5908. And it wouldn't be an emergency, just when they're over, like, put it on the list and when they get over this way, they can look at it.
I visited with him on the phone the other day. He said, "Yeah, a list of stuff over here."
And then maybe make up by all the water sign and we'll stick it on that thing. Please.
Reach down underneath there and turn the valves off. Are there regular hours in that building over there?
What do you mean by that?
When the door's not locked? Or is it just whenever there's somebody there?
I'm not entirely sure. Leanne works over there, and so I'm not sure. She's full time, so not sure if she locks the doors or. Lori brought that up this morning and was wondering about that, but I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I stopped there one day and it was locked. Then I stopped there yesterday and it was open.
Yeah, I stopped there one day and it was open, and somehow Leanne heard me or something, and she came out and asked what I wanted.
Okay.
I don't know how she was able to hear me open the door, but it was unlocked anyway.
Okay.
And nobody else was there, it was just Leanne.
Well, I mean, it should be, was the sheriff's, in the district attorney's office locked when it was down here? It should be open from 8 till 5 or whatever the office hours are.
Yeah,
But then there's no one there, so I suppose they're locking it.
You can't get back to any of the bathrooms or anything, because that door is locked. But, so all you can do is go down the hall
Does that door need to be locked all the time?
to the bathrooms. Well, I was wondering that too, because I thought somebody needed a bathroom and they could, they've got nice public bathrooms there.
But don't we have a custodian here every day or not?
Not all day.
Right.
At the end of the day, yeah. They
Right.
usually come. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if,
See, that building is so handy because if you're gonna let somebody in there, if you're at that window, you gotta walk all the way around, come down the hallway to let them in that door. I just wonder if that door needed to be locked.
well, the one back to the state's attorney's area, well, Bob insisted that it had to be locked, but that was quite a while ago that he said it made his area secure or something.
Right. That's what he always said, that he has to have a secure area, and that's,
Whether he's changed his mind, no, since there's,
Well, it would give you access to where there's evidence rooms are and stuff.
yeah,
That's keyed
they're all
separately
individually
anyway.
separately anyway. I mean,
And this might not be as much of an issue when the rest of
is occupied.
it's occupied, but it'll still be an issue trying to get a hold of somebody back in that end.
There's a doorbell. If you
Okay.
walk through, there's a doorbell there so that they know if you're coming. But there, another thing that if it needs to be secure, it's not right now. Because if you go through the commissioner's room or the community room, you can get all the way back.
Oh, that door was locked when I was in there.
The commissioner's or the
Yeah, the
Oh.
door leading to the commissioner's room.
oh,
was locked.
I didn't realize that.
So I
Okay,
couldn't get back there. at all.
okay. Oh, then never mind.
Something to think about anyway. We should talk about it sometime when he's up here. Find out what the plan is.
We allow access to the rest of the county offices and they're unarmed. Why shouldn't we allow access to the offices that are, doesn't make much sense.
It's an emergency
Either we lock
operations
them-
center. I don't think we should operate as if we're an emergency all the time.
Either we lock them all or lock none of them, I would think. I don't know that. I mean, maybe there's a regulation they have to be locked, I don't know.
Yeah, and especially if we do unlock the door to the commissioner's room, then you might as well just unlock the other one, because like you said, we lose our security as soon as you do one or the other. So if you do one, you might as well do both.
Okay.
I don't know, I'll talk to Bob and find out if there's a reason for that.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
Been moved by Dale to adjourn. Is our second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 2:54 p.m. with the next regularly scheduled meeting on Thursday, January 21st at 1 p.m. followed by a special meeting on the 22nd at 2 p.m.
Roger.